Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Clem still. And so I wanted to record a video and give you the top three reasons why you probably need a spiritual life coach in your life. So the first reason I wanted to give is that you probably don't know God. Now, you might find offense with me saying that, but let me back up and give myself a little bit of background. So I am a incarnate of my great grandfather. And so my great grandfather was the first walking man to receive the Ra anointings. That is the Egyptian sun god Ra. So that is the Ra anointings from God. So my Metu family was the first house to receive that anointings. Now, in my past life, again, I'm a reincarnate of my great grandfather. I succumbed to the lust demon and I took three wives. So I had immense power from God, but I used that power and I abused it. And so I was drugged through hell from, three generations basically. So I'm reincarnated, and so I have a chance at life again. So the thing is, I can speak personally, and even in this lifetime, this walking lifetime, I've struggled with lust. So trust me, I can tell you, I can preach it because I've been there and I've lived it. So with that said, another cool thing that I carry with me is my Nigerian passport from when I was a child. So I like to show people that, hey, I am very in tune with my lineage and my family's history. So I have been to Nigeria, I want to say no less than seven times. And each time I've gone, my family spent, I want to say, no less than about 2 weeks there. So since I was a child, I've been very in tune with my ancestry line, with my lineage, and with my ancestors, if you will. So I've met all of my grandparents on both my father's and my mother's side. I'm in tune with all of my family members. Both of my parents are the oldest of nine, respectively, on each of their families. So I'm familiar with my heritage. So I am connected to Mama Africa, if you will. And so, again, being a reincarnate of my great grandfather, that means that I too, in this lifetime, now have the gift of immortality and I have the raw demigod anointings. And so that comes with spiritual gifts. So, there's a lot of things that I am able to accomplish and achieve through God. So that is one of the main reasons why I am a good spiritual life coach, is because I've accomplished a lot through God through manifestation. So that is organic manifestation. That is no occult practices or anything like that. So the second thing is there is no lasting power with the devil. This is the second reason why you need a spiritual life coach. I come from a family of demons. I mean, I tell people that all the time. So I know a lot about witchcraft. So since I was a kid, I've known about animal sacrifices and all that things like that. So the thing is that witchcraft was created in my home country, Nigeria. So again, being a descendant of my great reincarnate of my great grandfather. I also know that walking with God, you cannot be touched by witchcraft. So it's not real in the sense that it can severely alter your life in terms of ending it, but it's real in the sense that a lot of people practice it and subscribe to it, and they actually put hand to ground your hand to sacrifice and things like that. And so there's even people that do eat human flesh too, so that's a whole that's the whole thing. So but the thing is that when you're walking with the devil, whatever sacrifices you make is that's temporary power. Walking with God is what's everlasting power. That is where you are able to receive spiritual gifts, such as the ones that I have, and no mortal walking this planet can take them from me. A lot of people have tried, and unfortunately for them, my father says that vengeance is his, and the vengeance that he has been exacting on these people's families, they can tell you personally that messing with me wasn't exactly the best idea that they had. So the second thing is, so as I said, is you need a spiritual life coach, somebody who can help coach you in how to tackle life's issues with righteousness, not necessarily with the devil. I've rolled with the devil. I know exactly how, I know all the plays in the devil's playbook. So whenever I meet new people and they think that, my Jesus kumbaya, act means that I'm naive and I've never been around any demonic people, I have to show them that, I know the devil's playbook. In a past lifetime, I wrote it. So again, no surprises there. And the last thing that I wanted to get into is that I'm a one-man army and I am envied worldwide by the many people that I know because of what I'm able to accomplish. And these are people that have two full-sized hands, that have teams of people that have two full-sized hands. and I'm a one-man army with a hand and a half. So truthfully, I accomplished the majority of, I mean, not the majority, exclusively my entire business since I quit corporate America in June 2022 on my own, by myself. And so the thing about it is that my professional experience in corporate America as a Fortune 150 cybersecurity consultant, being able to run projects by myself and being trusted by management to do so, that allowed me to gain the maturity of knowing how to launch things at scale. Now, that was before in my previous life when I had a lot more resources. Obviously, I was on a corporate payroll, things like that. But over the past 3 years, since I've quit corporate America and I've pursued entrepreneurship, starting my own business, mostly this, one of them being the spiritual life coaching, is God has been preparing me to know how to tap into my spiritual strength and not always my financial acumen. So that is my spiritual life coaching. Again, it's a little expensive at the moment. In this video, it's $750 an hour. But the thing about it is that sometimes all you need is just one conversation. This is not a service where you are meant to be, hooked on it, continuously talking to me all the time, all the time. As a matter of fact, the pricing is right at the point where, yeah, I'll talk to you, but I'm gonna, gut punch you in the wallet a little bit, right? So again, I want to get the most out of this session when we have it based off of the pricing. And so obviously I want you to also get the maximum value. Now, there might be multiple sessions necessary in terms of us resolving the spiritual issues that are that are, plaguing you effectively. But my goal is to make sure that, again, when I went through therapy, one of the things that my therapist said is that there's going to be a day where you and I no longer speak to each other. Now, it's the same thing with spiritual life coaching. My job is not to make sure that you're continuously coming back and paying over and over again. My job is to help you, give you the tools so that you can lead yourself. My job is to create more leaders. So I do that through life coaching. So, well, spiritual life coaching, that is. So I want to help coach you, get you closer to righteousness with God. So with that said, um, if you go to my website, clintonstill.com/life coach, you will see my life coaching page. And so I have my, a few breakdowns of my life coaching business in terms of what qualifies me as a coach, why did I become one. And so at the moment of this video, my Facebook account and Instagram is currently suspended. So these reference links don't work. But effectively, these bullet points provide a background as to my life experiences that allow me to that I can tap into to help coach you. And then lastly, I have a privacy and spiritual life coaching non-disclosure agreement. So again, this is a very straightforward NDA. Just saying that, hey, after you pay, there's no refunds and things like that. But the most important part here is part four. So anything that we discuss in the spiritual life coaching. So this is confidential between you and I. And then also, I am a man of God. So I am entrusted with my spiritual gifts from him. So I use them responsibly. So I'm not going to go and run and blab and, talk about the things that we discuss. So we do have that confidentiality in front of man via the NDA, and then of course with me before God. I will get punished. Trust me, He will punish me if I do that. So when it comes to my spiritual life coaching, there's three main areas that I cover. So the first is healing childhood trauma. Many of us come from tumultuous childhood backgrounds. I come from a childhood background of physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, all of it. So throw all of it in a cocktail, and I experienced it. But just because of the things that you went through were tumultuous and were traumatic does not mean that you cannot heal from those traumas and then accomplish greatness. So, again, if you kind of look back at the bullet point list of the things that I've accomplished thus far, you'll notice that in my life, I was still able to accomplish greatness, again, with a hand and a half. So, that leads to the second point, healing church hurt. There's a lot of damage that was done to people due to church hurt. So that is sometimes the church, because it's run by men, it can do more harm than it does good. So the thing about it is that churches are meant to help strengthen our faith, but it's not necessarily meant to be um, the sole exclusive source of our faith. So I come from Texas, born and raised, 32 years. And so living in the Bible Belt of the United States, a lot of people subscribe to prosperity gospel. That is how much money you donate to your tithe to the church is tied into your righteousness and how much God will cleanse you. No, I come from Africa, so again, I come from nothing. We didn't have all of these fancy, principles and things like that whenever, again, in my previous lifetime. So, and again, in my previous lifetime, that was when the British came to Nigeria, and that was when they tried to introduce Catholicism to us. But I rejected it, and I said, "Hey, we are already practicing Christianity. We already know God. So, again, white man, this is not the God that you're trying to teach us because, we already know him. He's been blessing us. We've been living in the jungles of Nigeria with malaria, surviving disease, surviving Hamilton season, which is 3 months of heavy rain in Nigeria. So again, weather extremes, all of it, especially heat, especially heat. Again, you can see my skin tone. We're able to endure the heat in Nigeria. So again, we are righteous people that immigrated from Egypt down there. So again, hence the Egyptian sun god Ra anointings on my Metu family bloodline. And so, lastly, I have developing a spiritual path. So, in your quest for righteousness, God has a path for all of us. If you need help tapping into it, if you need help sharpening your skills in order to reach your path, let's have a conversation about it. So, I wanted to talk about that process and say, okay, let's take your experiences and let's take some of your traumas and let's figure out how we can morph that into your own personal power. And then ultimately, that is how you can create your own excuse me, your own way of showing up into the world, and then, of course, leading others to righteousness. Our jobs as Christians is to be able to shine our light bright, so that we can lead others out of darkness. Be that light that others need, so that they can make sure that they keep their faith in God as well. And so here you can click on the book now link, and what it will end up doing is it will take you to the list of services that I offer. So again, I'm a spiritual life coach. I also do cybersecurity, so you'll see some of those services there. But here you'll see the 30-minute and the 60-minute life coaching session. So again, you can select whichever session length is great for you. I normally, of course, recommend the 60-minute, not necessarily just because it's more money for me, but I recommend it because it is something to where, again, we have more time speaking. The 30-minute is more so if we are in the middle of a session and you want to continue, okay, you can buy another 30-minute and let's kind of wrap it up and, stop at the right point. Or if it is, you and I already have an existing, relationship and we just want to have a quick check-in. So again, 30 minutes there as well. And so, lastly, one of the things that I wanted to go over is after you book a session, you will receive a link to the Spiritual Life Coaching intake form. And so, this is just if you're the first time client, you'll just fill out this form. And so, what this does is this just allows me to have some initial information about you so that as I start our relationship, I already have a bit of information about you so that I can dive in and I can make sure that we receive as much value out of the 60 minutes as possible. I don't want to spend the first, couple of minutes, asking you about yourself, things like that. I want to come in already, hey, knuckles cracked. Let's dive in. Let's get things done. So, in short, that is my spiritual life coaching service. And so, what I wanted to do is, again, just provide people with the top three reasons why you need spiritual life coaching. And then, of course, why you would want spiritual life coaching from your favorite Egyptian demigod, Ra. So, that is just it, guys. If you need any spiritual life coaching services, again, please feel free to book with me. And if you have any questions, reach out before booking. All right. See you guys later. Peace.